Hi, Assalamu alaikum. Today we are going to learn about human health, which is immunity. The importance of immunizations. What is immunizations? It is an effort to stimulate the body defense against infections of pathogen in the babies, children, adults by injecting the vaccines. What is a vaccine? Vaccines contain antigens obtained from a part or the whole structure of a weakened or dead virus or bacteria. This is the attachment of site that you may refer for the vaccine's info. This is the vaccination schedules in Malaysia, which will be given according to the age, starting from the newborn till 15 years old. The left column shows the immunization with the list of several vaccines. The vaccines will be given according to the dose. HPV vaccines will be given only to the females. For more information, you may refer to your textbook. Now, we recall back the definitions of immunity. Immunity refers to the ability of an organism to defend itself against infections by pathogens. There are three types of immunity, which is the first line of defense, second line of defense, and the third line of defense. Immunity can be divided into active and passive. What is the active immunity? Active immunity means your body has to produce the antibody, whereas the passive immunity, your body has to get the antibody from another resources. There are naturals and artificials for both active and passive. For the natural active immunity, it is such as someone who recovered from the illness, but for the natural passive immunity, it is from mother to fetus or breastfeeding, while for the artificial active immunity comes from the injections of the vaccines. Last one, artificial passive immunity, injections of antiserum. Now we proceed with the immunity graph. This graph is for the active natural immunity. The vertical axis known as the y-axis, which represents as the concentrations of antibody, while the horizontal axis or x-axis for the time. The dot line is for the immunity levels. Okay, for the during the first infections, the antibody produced is still low levels, does not achieve the immunity levels. But while the second times of infections, the antibody has been produced exceed the immunity levels. This immunity it is lasts long after the infections. This is the graph of active artificial immunity. You can see it is involved the vaccine. During the first vaccine injections, the body produces little amount of antibody. So, the second dose of vaccine injection is required as a booster to increase the productions of antibody in the blood. It will be long-lasting. According to the graph, you can see the antibody concentrations have been exceed the immunity levels. This is the graph of passive artificial immunity. The first injections offers immediate immunity against the disease. The concentrations of antibodies in the blood after the first injections is sufficient to provide immunity against the disease. However, the immunity obtained from the first injection is temporary and will be decreased. So, the second injections may be sometimes be necessary to raise the concentrations of antibodies above the levels needed to fight against the infections. Okay, this immunity provides a short-term protections only. This table shows the differences between artificial active immunity and the artificial passive immunity. Type of injections for the artificial active immunity involve vaccines, whereas the artificial passive immunity involve serum. Time of injections for the artificial active immunity before the person is infected with a disease, but for the artificial passive immunity at the time person is infected or at the high risk of of getting the disease. Time taken to achieve the immunity. For the artificial active immunity, body need times to synthesize the antibodies. But for the artificial passive immunity, because we use the serum, so it gives the immediate immunity. I mean, the instant antibodies have been used. Durations of antibody, artificial active immunity, long-lasting immunity. But for the artificial passive immunity, it is short-lasting of immunity.